Hey everyone, good afternoon. So I just wanted to go live real quick to give you a bit of a preparation for everyone who's going to be participating in the hormone bootcamp. I've already reached out to a couple of you and had some great conversations. I'm excited for this and I'm excited for you. So I want to show you more or less what you need to have ready. So I know most of you already do, but for anyone else who's going to be joining, I'm going to be sending out a message on Facebook Messenger for everyone who is on my Facebook Messenger list. And I'll let you know if I have you tagged as participating in the boot camp or not. That way, if you are not tagged and you want to participate, then tomorrow is going to be the last day that I'm going to be working through this, making sure that everyone who's wanting to participate that is on the list. And this is basically what you need to have ready. So first of all, I have a link in the description of this live video, and that goes to a page where you're going to get all of the supplies that we're going to need for the first, for the 6 weeks. However, all you need for right now is, if you're participating, you just got to make sure that you have the minerals. So, like I said, Thursday probably would have been the last day to bought some of these products so that you get enough time to ship. But if not, at the very least, what you want to have ready for Monday, if you are doing the boot camp, is to have your pink Himalayan salt, right? And this is what this is, right? So I want to show you here. Hope that flash is not too loud. Hold on, give me a second to close that. Oh wait. All right. Basically, all you need to have is your pink Himalayan salt. So these are my crystals, and they're just soaking in water. So what I want to show you is I take this, and you want to leave this soaking for about, I don't know, I guess at least 48 hours, like 2 days. But all that I do is I just take the liquid from here and I pour it down into this little dropper. So you don't need to have these big crystals. These are just the ones that I get because they're just like the best that I have found. But you can get like the coarse ground pink Himalayan salt, and those work just as good. And obviously, I recommend the ones from my Earthship products. Those are the ones that I use. I don't get a commission or anything from those. Those are just the best ones that I have found. But then all you're going to be doing for the first week, this is the first habit that you want to create, right? This is basically what I do every night before I go to sleep. I take a mason jar. This is a quart size mason jar. And I just take four, maybe here's 1, 2, 3, 4 dropperfuls, right? You can do 5. That starts to get a little bit salty, but 4 or 5, that's about as much as you do. And then I get the ionic magnesium. These are the other minerals that I use. And it's about 20 drops, but I really just kind of do a little squirt like that, maybe 2. And that's about as much as I do, right? So that's all the minerals there. And I use steam distilled water. Now, obviously, I know most of you won't have steam distilled water, so just use the best um, quality water that you can get, whether it is reverse osmosis, will be probably like the second best to steam distilled. But if you want to get maybe, maybe like some spring water or something, I stay away from plastic bottles. But if that's all you can get for right now, that's totally fine. When it comes to water, like I said, there's different levels, I guess, different ways that you can improve the quality of your water. And you guys are going to be learning about this during the hormone bootcamp. Things that I do as far as improving the quality of my water. But that's it. So this is my water with minerals. This is just what I do every night. I take this and I just have this by my, in my room. So when I wake up, I just chug this first thing in the morning. That's basically all that I do. That's the first habit, right? And so the idea for this bootcamp is you're going to be creating this habit to where every day you're mineralizing your body. And over time, you're going to see and learn how this is going to actually play a big role in helping you produce hormones and helping you with digestion. So as long as you have this ready, then Monday, basically, this is where we get started. This is all that we're doing. It's a simple habit. And like I said, it's easy to do, but it's also easy not to do, right? So everyone that's participating, that's the benefit that you're getting from this, is that you're kind of being forced to participate and do this so that at the end of 6 weeks, this becomes second nature, to where now this becomes the normal, this becomes a habit, and now it's actually harder to break a habit. So just like it's hard to break a habit, it is harder to create it, but once you have that habit, it's hard to break it. And so that's the goal. I want you to have this habit so that you just do this without thinking, so that it's not a chore, so that it's not something like, oh, I forgot to do my water. It's like, no, it's more like if you go to bed and you don't have your water, you feel weird because you don't have it. You're kind of like in that habit, right? So that's basically what's going to be happening. Other than that, today I'm for the most part just going to be drinking mostly water. I have my probiotics that I am testing out. So these are the ones that I am testing. Today I have mango slices and raspberries. And so you can see the little bit of bubbles there. So this is fermenting. This is active. So these probiotics are active. And these are all coming from my, here's my stack of probiotics, right? So those are my active batches. And then I just, prepare them either every morning or the night before. That way, I give them about 6 to 8 hours for these to ferment. And that's when they're active. The probiotics basically eat up all of the sugar. And then, if I eat the fruit, well, all of that has all the probiotics and they actually make it into my gut. And this is what helps me restructure my gut flora. And then last, I guess some people have been wondering about my diet for this week. And all I've been doing has been essentially, do you refrigerate the probiotics? I don't. These all just stay at room temperature. And again, this is something that you guys are going to be learning. And actually, I'm glad you asked this question, Carolina. So one of the things that I know from brewing beer and working with probiotics and yeast and things like that is that temperature actually affects the activity of probiotics and yeast. So if you drop temperature, the activity basically drops until the bacteria or the yeast go dormant, right? And going dormant means that they go inactive. So one way to stop fermentation is to refrigerate. And so the reason why these are at room temperature is because they're active, and that's why they preserve food. I've made these probiotics. Here, I'll just put these one over here. I made these probiotics back in June, July, and you can see the pineapple. Pineapple still looks like it's just been freshly cut. It's preserved, right? That's what happens. That's what probiotics do to our bodies. They preserve us. I think of this pineapple as our gut, right? Our gut is a porous material, just like this pineapple. And so what I want to do is to have more of these probiotics in my gut, because this is what they do. They preserve and they keep this pineapple from aging, just like they do that. They keep our guts from aging. They keep our bodies from aging. They preserve us. So these I don't refrigerate. You can refrigerate them, but just remember that if you do refrigerate these probiotics, they're going to go dormant and they're not going to be active. And so you have to basically wake them up again, which is what this is. You add more water and sugar and leave it at room temperature so that they are active. And this is what, some of you might experience. And this is why a lot of us have digestive issues. And you can see it when you have low body temperature. That affects the gut flora, how active they are at digesting food, right? It's the same concept. And that's why, with this bootcamp and my book, Beer Diet Project, I'm trying to get you guys to understand these 5 things. The quality of your water helps, basically how it impacts digestion, minerals, how that affects digestion, pH, how that affects digestion, temperature, how that affects digestion, and then all the probiotics and gut flora that you have in your gut, how all of that plays a role. It's all of the same thing. So thank you for asking that. Hopefully that answers your question, gives you a little bit of an insight as far as, how and why, that's done. And then, so I was talking about my diet for this week. So this week I was basically doing a cleanse. And this is something that I haven't really done to this level before. It was a pretty intense cleanse, which was basically, it's a citrus-based cleanse where I used 1 grapefruit, 5 oranges, and 3 lemons with some turmeric and ginger root. And basically that was kind of like what I would have in the morning. And then I followed that with another citrus cleanser, which was 4 lemons with milk thistle seeds, cayenne pepper, and a couple other things. But that's primarily the bulk of it. My main source of nutrients, I guess, for this week was really the chlorella and spirulina that was in the in that drink, and then my probiotics. So this whole week I had probiotics like this, where I had about a cup, about 1 cup worth of like berries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, goji berries, and that is about as much food as I ate. And the whole principle behind me doing that was to basically demonstrate that our bodies don't really need nearly as much food as we think they do. Now, I can eat more food if I want to, I just don't have to, right? That's the beauty of this. That's when you begin to understand how the body functions, what actually nourishes your body, then you are more free to actually you're not a slave to the kitchen. I would say you don't have to be eating constantly. You don't have to like eat and you don't get hungry. And one of the things about this week too is that I actually lean down a lot. Like this is about as lean as I've ever been, and I'm not quite like at a six-pack level, but this is like about as lean as I've ever been. And it's basically just following all these principles that I've learned and understand about how the body burns fat, how the body digests protein, how the body digests and processes carbohydrates. So because this week I wasn't exactly keto, and today it's actually going to be the first day that I'm going to go back to a plant-based keto type of diet, and I'm just going to coast there. That's kind of like my coasting diet. That's like what I use, where I just maintain and I feel good, and I don't really have to like eat a lot until I figure out what I want to do next. But after this boot camp, I know like the second biggest thing that people ask me about is about not so much losing weight, but burning fat. And there's a big difference with that. Like this week, that's basically all that I've had. A lot of water, a lot of these liquids and the probiotics, and I didn't really lose weight because my goal has never been to lose weight. It has always been to burn fat and just get healthier. And one of the things with that is that as your body burns fat, you're getting rid of toxicity, and toxicity bogs you down. So the less toxic your body is, the more energy you're going to have, the more energy you're going to feel. And so that's where, if people ask me, okay, if I want to have more energy, what should I do? Well, everyone who's participating in the hormone bootcamp, you're going to have a lot of the fundamentals, and then you can just take certain areas, like for example, the fasting side and the detoxing side of the hormone bootcamp, and then just focus a lot more on those, put emphasis on those, and that becomes your new routine. If energy is what you want. If you want more on the fat loss side, then we can go on, like a different route based on that. And so that's kind of like what I want to show you, and help you understand that why my diet isn't exactly fixed, why I don't consider myself vegan, keto, or anything specific, but rather I'm just kind of like ever evolving with my diet. And more than anything, I'm just understanding food digestion and how my body operates and how it transforms itself as I put emphasis on good foods in my diet. So that's all that I wanted to share with you guys today. Again, if you are not registered for the Hormone Bootcamp yet, number one, I'm going to be sending a message to everyone who's on my list and letting you know if I don't have you tagged, for participating in the Hormone Bootcamp. That way you can register and, be a part of it. I'll be sending out special trainings during these next 6 weeks for those of you who are on the list. And then anyone who is already on the list, I'll be sending you also a message to let you know that, confirm that you are on the list. I've already started to reach out, like I said, to some of the participants. But other than that, click the link in the description of this live video. That's where you are going to be able to register. And that's it. I guess stay tuned. And I'm excited for everyone who's participating. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'll talk to you later. See ya.